Welcome to Suburban Death Metal Dad Bonus Tracks, Episode 81, Atheist Live Review. I mentioned in a previous episode that I was in Japan during the month of June on vacation, and while I was there I saw Atheist live. They were touring, just doing 3 shows, 2 in Tokyo, 1 in Osaka, and I saw them on the second night in Tokyo, and I decided I would just do a review of the show. And I hadn't done anything like this for the channel before, so I basically came up with a template of things to talk about, and I'll just get right into it. The venue is called Shibuya Cyclone, and it's in a very busy part of Tokyo, and this is the first time I went by car. I'd been there before. It's been at least a couple of decades, but the times I went before, it was by train, so this is the first time going by car. I wasn't driving, but it was definitely a bit hectic and congested and tricky getting to the parking garage, but in the end it all worked out. The venue itself, it's pretty nice. It's rather deep underground. I don't know how many flights of stairs to get down to it, but it's pretty far underground and rather small, but still pretty decent. And if you've ever heard bands talk about touring in Japan, they usually praise how well the venues are run and set up, and I'd have to agree with that. So like I said, it's a rather small venue, and it was pretty packed in there, a pretty decent crowd for the size of the venue, and a lot of energy, a lot of headbanging, some moshing, and people were definitely into it, and I didn't see anybody acting stupid, so yeah, it was definitely cool. So the set list I think was very good. They played 17 songs and leaned heavily on the first 2 albums, Piece of Time and Unquestionable Presence, although they did do a handful of songs from Elements, which was pretty cool. Nothing from Jupiter. I wouldn't mind hearing a song or 2 from Jupiter. I think that's a very good album. But anyway, very good set list. So up to now, everything I mentioned was pretty positive, and here comes something that was a little bit negative for me, and that was the sound in the venue. I'm not sure who was running sound for the band, but the guitars were definitely too loud in the mix, I would say, to the point where quite often it was getting rather muddy and hard to distinguish notes and stuff. I mean, I know the songs pretty well, especially from the first 2 albums, and I know the songs from Elements also, just not as deeply as I know Piece of Time and Unquestionable Presence, but the clarity was definitely lost at times, and in my opinion, bass guitar is very important in Atheist, and I wish the guitars, the rhythm and lead guitars, had been turned down a little bit, and maybe the bass brought up more would have been nice. So that's really my only complaint, and it's not a reflection on the band or anything, their performance, just whoever was running sound for the band in that venue could have mixed it definitely better. So I actually went to the venue a few hours before the show started because I was there with my family and we're going to be doing some other stuff, and then I was going to go by myself to the concert later, and I wanted to kind of re-familiarize myself with where to go because it's been a few decades. I don't want to get lost or show up late or something. So when I did that, I actually ran into the guitar player, Alex. He was hanging out outside, and I got to talk with him for a bit, get a picture, and super cool guy, so that was awesome. And then I came back, say maybe 30 minutes before Atheist was going on, and all the band members except the drummer were actually hanging out in that stairwell, so I got to meet them, get pictures, talk to Kelly for a little bit, so that was super cool. So I've been a fan of Atheist since around 90 when I first heard Piece of Time. and I'd never seen them live before, so it was definitely awesome to have that opportunity. And they definitely killed it on stage. I mean, great performance and just a ton of energy, and Kelly's banter in between songs was very entertaining. And it did sound like, you know, stuff that he rehearsed, and, you know, this is what I say in between these songs. It was just seemed very spontaneous to me. And like I said, a little bit disappointed with the lack of clarity in the mix, but I don't put that on the band members at all. They definitely, you know, brought it, and Kelly's got, you know, killer band members, and I just can't wait to hear what they come up with. You know, they're supposedly working on a new album, and definitely looking forward to hearing that. If I had thought about it, I would have asked Kelly about it when I met him, but it was kind of like, you know, I turned a corner and there's the band, so just kind of wasn't prepared to meet them and, you know, ask questions and stuff. And so I, you know, didn't come up with anything like that to ask. You know, I wish I would have, but it just kind of happened rather quickly. So, but anyway, like I said, great to see him, and hopefully I'll get to see him again. I would definitely like to see him again. So, all right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.